Step 1, take what looks to be the middle shelf. Grab yourself 4 of the pins. Put those guys in. Step 2, we're taking both of our sides. We're going to take 4 of these guys, part number 118331. Here you've got 4 holes. You want to put these to the inner holes like so. Some people like to use the impact driver, but it doesn't take that long just to use a nice ratcheting screwdriver to help ensure that you do not over tighten these guys. So steps 3 and 4 involve getting the center fixed shelf in place. Here's your center fixed shelf that we already put the pegs in. We'll put these little buggers in here. That's these guys. You've got your nice fluted finish that goes to the front. In this case, the front is facing towards me here. You use your little turn pull to draw it tight. Draw it tight, putting in 4 pins. An important note in the assembly process, if you look at the tops and bottoms, they are different. The top that goes on the top has these 2 little holes here. So here we are at steps 6 and 7. For these steps you'll need the IKEA magic wrench. This is part number 100229. Part that we just put the dowel pins in. Take these guys. Take 6 of these guys. And they only need to be just flush. Well, tighten up all 6 of these, we'll move on to the next step. Step 8 is putting the backer inside the bookshelf. There's a row of holes, and they've got to line up with that fixed shelf. So as we're inserting it like so, it's important that the holes are closest to you to line up with that shelf in the middle, and then being it has that flex to it, you come down to this end and work it into place. Step 8. So now we're at step 10, putting the back in with step 8 and 9. We've got these little friction pushes. You got these little buggers that almost look like sheetrock anchors. You line those guys up with the holes that are in the back of the shelf. Through the holes you aligned with the backer there. Take your little friction pushes. They're square, so they it's kind of a square peg. There we go. Let's move on. Step 11, we've got another top-bottom piece. Here is the slot again. We're putting in 4 pins. Steps 12, 13, and 14 involve taking the guy that we just put the pegs in. You got 6 of them fellas. So here we line up our pegs, and as we work it in, we want to make sure we align that backer into the slot. Again, we've got 6 of these fasteners that take the IKEA magic wrench. Tighten these guys up. You don't want them proud of the surface, and you don't want them countersunk. You just want it roundabout. Moving on to the decorative elements. Taking this top trim piece guy. Look on the back here, there's a large hole and a small hole. The small hole requires us to add a couple of the 118-331 fasteners. And we'll take our end pieces. There's a smaller hole that you put a couple of dowel pegs in. That's step 15 and 16. Step 17 and 18, we're taking a couple of these little guys and lining up some holes, snugging them up. As you put them in, you go like so, give it a little turn, nice and snug. Step 19, flipping this guy back over. There's a number of holes for pegs, 2 in the front, 2 on each side. Step 19. Steps 20 and 21, we put the little top decorative molding on. Work that in place. 4 screws, the 109-060, and a washer. They're the only washers in this hardware kit. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you want them just. Step 22, we begin the assembly of the base. So 22 is you take this piece with the flat ends with all the holes and insert 4 of these wooden dowel pins. Step 23, on the shorter or side pieces, we're going to put in 4 of these guys. These are the part number 100-481, and there are 4 of these guys. For steps 25 and 26, this is the rear. So you take your side pieces, put all the holes to the rear, work those together like that. Step 26 is using these little guys to draw the whole works together. There we go. Step 27, 6 wooden pegs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step 28, we've got 10 of the 100-481s that go on the bottom of the bookshelf unit. 2 on each side, 3 on each end. Step 29, getting this piece lined up with all the wood pegs and those metal jobbies. Step 30, you take your front decorative bottom piece and you've got 1, 2 wooden pegs. Step 31 is you find the little corner brackets. You've got 4 of those. And then you grab 4 of these little guys. Step 32, just getting that lined up like so. Step 33 is taking these plastic bottom skids, getting those in place. Step 34, putting the screws in to tighten up these angle brackets. There's 4 screws. Step 35, 4 of these little buggers. We're doing the sides, the top and the bottom. Step 35 also includes these 3 guys on the front. Step 36, 3 more of these guys, right here on the bottom and the back. Step 37 uses 8 of these interesting fastener. This part is inserted first, and then you have what I believe you would call a tensioner. You find on the rear of the shelf, you find the 8 holes. They insert like that. The insert here, and push it, and it tensions up the backer within the shelf. And here we are at step 38. You really ought to use the bracket they send along to fasten the shelf on the top to the wall. That's what those small holes are for on top of the shelf. Step number 39 is affixing your shelves. It comes with 12 of these guys. I will put them in, just centered, and with that nubbin upward. Installing the shelves, just a matter of a couple of taps and your shelf is in place. As you can see, shelves are all in, ready to go. I hope that you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please like and follow.